All right, good afternoon, everyone. Uh, this is Michael from CFRN.net. I'm going to give the recap. Today is September 16th, Friday, September 16th, 2011, and we'll give a quick recap of our morning. All right, the YM had some nice trades this morning, and the ES, well, the ES did not. It was not nice to us. Today is Triple Witching Friday. All right, and what that means is futures contracts, options contracts, and other contracts expire. I can't remember which ones off the top of my head right now, but stock option. That's what it is. Futures options, stock options, um, and yeah, all that expire today. Now, let's just go back here to the beginning of the day, okay? Right at 9:30. Now at 9:30, I missed this trade right here, right at the start of the day. It took off, and I got in like just 1 minute late, and I put my order on down here, but it had gone up to plus a point, so I didn't get to take advantage of that trade. I would have gotten a break even on it anyway, I think, had I gotten into it, because I would have moved my stop up to break even. All right. We had another bubble right here, but we had a flat top right here, so we couldn't take that trade. We put in a higher swing right here, but we didn't have a bubble to go with the pullback. Over here, another flat top. You see double top right there, so we couldn't go with that bubble. We did take this one over here. It pulled back down here, and we had just a tiny bubble, and it pulled back down here. And we got into the trade right here, and we were aggressive with our stop because we were right on top of a news event. Okay, the University of Michigan sentiment and preliminary inflation estimates came out right about here. So we didn't want to be in that trade with any risk on it when the news event triggered. All right, now the price moved up from there. It would have gone up to our profit target had we stayed in that trade, but we did not. Now this is when the actual news was moving the market around, right? It first moved it up and then it moved it down. So we didn't do anything right in here until we got over here. All right, we had a little bit of a bubble right here. We got into this trade right here and it quickly stopped us out for -8 ticks. At this point we were -7 because we had 1 tick profit from the first trade. Then the BBC came out of the box right here, and we had another nice bubble. Unfortunately, it pulled back right here and just kept going. It kept dropping down right there, and it dropped right through. So we got -8 ticks there. So at that point, we were -15, I think. Over here, it pulled back up, and we were shorting to go into the zone. I was saying if you got filled here, and some of the guys in the live trading room did get filled there. Unfortunately, I did not get filled there, but it did go right down to the profit target. Had I filled, we would have been back at -7, but I did not fill, so we didn't get anything there. We didn't take this trade right here because it was going right into the zone, and we didn't have a bubble for it. All right. Now, we went back in right here. We got another bubble. We got a lower swing. We were down below the zone. It pulled up. We filled right here, and we got +5 ticks on that at one point, I think, and I moved my stop up to break even, and it popped me out at break even. Okay, so we were out at break even right there with still -15 ticks right there, I think. Over here we had another bubble, and it pulled back up to the BBC. Again, it just went right up through our stop. All right, so there we were -23 ticks, and we didn't have any trade opportunities in here. Okay, the BBC was inside the box. Over here it was inside the box, and as soon as it came out of the box, we had a bubble create, and we took it right here. This was right at the close of the morning session, and that made us -31 ticks on the morning. All right, from there was right here where it came out of the box. Up here, this was not a valid trade because we had a lower tops right here, so we could draw a trend line down the tops. All right, this right here where it is right now doesn't have a bubble. Okay, so there's no trade right there either. All right. And that was it. That was the ES. We did not have a good day on the ES. We certainly got the triple witch effect this morning. -31 ticks there on the ES. All right. But it is what it is. The good, bad, and the ugly. All right. Now this here is the this is the YM. The first trade that we took was a divergence trade this morning. Okay, right here, I'll show you. Right here was a divergence trade we took this morning. When we got a close up above the MA1 right here, I waited for a little bit of a pullback down toward the MA1, and when price had moved up, 10 ticks or so, I moved my stop up to plus 1 tick, and it came back and took me out at plus 1 tick. All right. Now I was in an ES trade when this happened over here, but the price pulled back down. This was the first pullback after the bullish cross right here. Okay, so we're plus 1 tick right here. It was the first pullback right here with divergence. That's a very high probability trade setup. I missed it because I was in a trade on the ES. I wasn't paying attention to it. But this one, it went up from 410 right up to the zone here, up at 445. So that was a good 35 tick trade right there, 35 point trade that I missed. Now, price went up and it hit the zone and it came back down. We weren't looking to trade anything in here because it was coming off the zone. All right, so we weren't looking to do anything right in there. We had a bearish cross and it pulled back up to the BBC. I did short that right there and I took a 7 tick loss on it. So at this point we were minus 6 ticks on the ES. All right, and it went right back up to the zone and it got rejected from the zone again and dropped right through here. We didn't even try to take a trade right here, okay, because it was dropping so quick. We let that go until it got down here. Now it pulled up right here after the bearish cross right here. This was the first pullback. And again, I missed this trade right here. And this was a nice trade for a bunch of ticks. The reason I didn't take this trade was because the ES at the time was going right into the zone. By the time it got down here, though, the ES had gotten through the zone. So this had divergence on it down here on this indicator showing divergence. And I shorted the close down below the MA1 with divergence. Okay. That gave us a nice move down here, a very nice move down. Now, the next trade that I took was over here. Now I think we took 10 ticks out of that trade right there. Once it got to plus 10, we moved our stop up to plus 10, and we got stopped out at plus 10. So at this point, we were plus 3, I think. Plus 3 ticks is what it ended up being. All right, now over here it pulled back up to the BBC after the bearish cross again. It pulled back up to the BBC. I was waiting on this one for a down close. When we got the down close right here, I shorted, and my target was right here at the MA1. Okay, I had moved my target right to the MA1, and that's exactly where it went. It went and filled me at the MA1, right at my target for another 10 ticks. All right, then the market pulled up. It was right here where it was. We were right below the zone over here on the ES, so I didn't want to go long on the pullback right here. Okay, and I'm glad I didn't, and I suggested to the folks in the room that they don't do it either. Then we had a bearish cross. It pulled back up here, which was also still below the zone over here on the ES. I didn't take this trade. What I was looking for was a down close on this bar right here, and we didn't get a down close on this bar. I know some of the folks in the room did take this trade, and they said it was the fastest 20 points they'd ever made. It did drop right down. It dropped right down about 30 points almost. And from there, it's moved up. Right now, we have what we would be looking for now is a pullback down to the BBC. We have some bullish divergence showing here, so we would be looking for some bullish divergence. But we finished on the YM. We finished the morning session plus 13 ticks on the YM. Okay. Now that was it. I wanna go over one thing that we mentioned stuff last night in the partners workshop. About things that we're working on, things that we're looking at, and I just wanted to bring something out since we got a pretty good crowd of people in here. I just want to show you guys something. This is based on what we had discussed last night in the workshop. For all the partners that are in next week's workshop, I'll show you a way that you could have bought over here at $4 or $5 and sold over here at 15 a couple days later. I'll show you a way that you could have. I'll just extrapolate this a little bit more. You could have bought over here for $6 and sold up here for 24 a couple days later. Even in the same day, some of these times, bought right in here and sold for more. just some things that will be coming, for you guys to look forward to in next week's community workshop. Okay, it's based a little bit on well, it's based a lot on what we showed last night at the end of the partners meeting last night. Again, that's for partners only. So anybody that's in here that's on a free trial, you have to become a partner by then to be able to get into that meeting. All right. I think that could be a real game changer for everyone. All right. And with that, I will